Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Stank Weasel here with another regular dose of irregular content. So these days it's beginning to feel more and more like an infomercial where it's like, but wait, there's more, another update. And while that's super refreshing, it's almost frustrating because it's like, oh man, I was just getting used to the last changes, but here we go again. So today, January 19th, we do have another beta branch build update, and there is one significant fix and a couple of changes that are going to potentially impact a lot of what we learned over the last few days, as well as how to play with some of the tools going forward. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. All right, so today, the significant change or fix per se was that there was a bug where non-VR loading screens weren't covering the entire screen on ultra wide displays. So if you had a wide FOV or a really wide monitor, it just wasn't looking right. So that's been corrected. So hopefully you're not going to see any weird artifacting or asset pop-ins and things like that along the edges of the screen. Everything should be back to kind of normal aspect ratio and visually correct. So the changes, we just started talking about this parabolic mic that's been kind of like the meme tool up until about yesterday. Well, it got buffed again, only this time it got buffed in the sense of it works more like you'd expect it to work. There was a visual change as well as kind of a shift in how it works to make sure that it's not thermometer 2.0. So specifically from the notes, they increased the parabolic microphone distance from 10 to 30 meters. So now we have basically a full run of a hallway, or the majority of such distance within levels like the high school or asylum, and even some of the longer distances like kind of across that atrium threshold in prison. And the width has been increased from 3 to 6 meters. So again, we're taking and making that beam and cone that it has in front of it to detect an area wider. What does this mean? We can detect sounds from further away. However, we're a little bit less accurate. However, again, it does get us in that general vicinity of where things are occurring more accurately than just kind of like, oh, it's a laser gun that tells us where the ghost is. This is supposed to be used to give you the general direction of the ghost and not exactly where the ghost is. So directly quoted there. Reduce the size of the parabolic microphone model to give you a better view on non-VR. So no more are you carrying around that satellite dish like you're trying to, pirate an NFL game or something like that. The model has been shrunk down a little bit so that you can actually use it more effectively and then also still see what's going on and not run into a table or something. On school, the volume of the telephones has been lowered, so you don't have to worry about like having your eardrums blown out when, Karen Williams is trying to make a phone call to the second classroom on the top left stairs or anything. The ambient sounds in the levels such as door creaks or just kind of random things that occur within a house or any of the different maps have been removed from the sound sensor and the parabolic microphone's detection to provide any false positives. So if there's just noises in a level, they're not going to arbitrarily give you false evidence and send you off in a different direction. Additionally, for the ghost AI, there's been a slight increase into the chance for each ghost to wander, regardless of the difficulty that you're on. So it doesn't have to be just intermediate or professional to have more aggressive or active ghosts. Basically playing the game, the ghosts are going to now act like ghosts. They're not just going to hang out in a corner and wait for you to come find them and play peekaboo. There's a chance for them to move around kind of within their general area and then potentially beyond. So testing will kind of uncover what we find there. And then finally, the activity monitor has been updated. That's the board in the truck for the chicken on your team who's always like, oh, there's a hunt. And then they're just hanging out on the static for you. It'll show an estimated value rather than a true value of the activity in the facility so that you can no longer detect things like EMF 5 without actually measuring it with the tool. So use that more as a kind of a rough guide and gauge as to where the activity level is, what to expect when entering the facility or communicating back to your team, as opposed to a hard and fast fact as this is what's going on right now. Oh goodness. I'd imagine that there's probably still going to be a pretty accurate reading when there's things like it's a hunt, so it's a 10. But being able to just stand in the truck and say, is it going to be an EMF or not? Not so much. I think the only thing we could still do safely from the truck, kind of, with good luck, is get those lucky orbs. So using the cameras kind of right off the bat on the larger maps and seeing if you can kind of get a general idea of where the ghost might be. So that's it for today so far. We'll see if we get, 54 more updates, and I'll be all over it the second that I find out that there is and try and get the information out as quickly as possible. Thanks again for all the early support. Appreciate it. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. It's been the longest week of my life and it's only Tuesday. So everybody have a great day. Have a great week. Stank out.